Welcome to another GRU interview designed to educate and inspire by sharing short profiles of Canadian real estate investors. My name is Ryan Kirk with GRU, Gemaki Real Estate Wealth, where we help busy people grow their wealth and freedom through investment real estate. In this interview, our guest is Andrew Morch. He's a Toronto-based plumber that has launched his real estate career in a big way at just 21 years old. His story is super inspiring, and he destroys so many excuses we make for why we can't begin investing in real estate or grow our portfolios. There's a lot to learn from this young guy. So here's Andrew.
Hey there. I'm Andrew. I'm a real estate investor, 21 years old. I live in Toronto, and I've just recently invested in the Peterborough market.
All right, that's amazing. So 21 years old, how did you get interested in real estate? How did you get started at such a young age? Are you like a trust fund kid?
No. It all basically started, I've always been pretty frugal. I got my first full-time job at 18 out of high school as a plumbing helper, making $12 an hour. And I was able to live at home. And while I was living at home, I realized that I could save so much money because my parents weren't charging me rent, and I could actually save a lot more money than, people that are making like double what I made, right? Because people have all these expenses and cars and mortgages. So I thought this was a really good opportunity to save. And I always thought like it was such a crazy idea that people just work their whole life during the best years of their life. So I was like, there has to be a way that I don't have to work forever. And I thought I could just save a big pool of cash and then just retire off it, which is not realistic whatsoever. I just thought at the time I could save a bunch of money and just like kick my legs back and that's it.
Yeah.
That's not the case. I bumped into a family friend who has like 5 properties in Hamilton. And I started talking to him about it. And the idea just clicked that your tenants pay down your debt for you. And you're making money through appreciation, mortgage pay down, and cash flow. So I thought I got to get into this. This sounds so cool. I work in houses all day. I work for a lot of real estate agents and investors and people with money sitting around also at work all the time.
Right. But so you decided, okay, real estate sounds like a great deal. I'd love to do it just like this family friend. However, even if your expenses are low, you're still making $12 an hour. How do you save up enough to get into the market?
So I thought like, okay, I'll buy my first place at 25 or something. I was like, you know what? I know why I had that number in my head. I was like 25, I'll get my first place. But I just kept saving, and kind of in this past year, I really dialed in about like more into real estate and actually started kind of like studying more, reading lots of books and listening to podcasts. And I saved around 50 grand, basically over 3 years of working. So I had,
that's amazing.
So
man.
In April, in the summer, basically I had 50 grand, and I basically bumped into a friend I went to high school with, and he was actually trying to buy a house with his friend, but his friend was in university, so he could never qualify for a mortgage. But I've already been working for over 3 years at my job with a super steady paycheck because there's always demand in plumbing. And we ended up partnering together. So I found someone crazy enough to invest with me with this whole idea. And because I soon realized that I couldn't do this alone. Like I kept thinking, I need to do this alone. This is the only way to do it. No one else is going to do it with me because I'm too young and whatever. I'm too risky. But I found this friend who didn't know a ton about real estate. He's more hands-off in general now. I'm more of the hands-on kind of working partner. But I found him, and then we're like, okay, like where are we going to buy a house? Like what can we qualify for? So we talked to our broker, and basically what we could qualify for really dictated where we were going to invest. So we were looking at markets like Brantford, St. Catharines, the places we could afford in Hamilton in the rougher areas. So we maybe didn't want to do that for our first deal. And we also looked in Peterborough. But in this journey looking for markets, I actually have a family friend named Jillian Irving. I don't know if you've heard of her. She's a student rental. She's a student rental queen. Like all she does is student rentals. She's actually my like parents' close family friend. So I reached out to her, and I kind of told my friend Dylan and I kind of told her about how we want to get started. And she said, you know what, can I just mentor you guys for free and help you guys through this?
Wow.
So she helped guided us through to our first deal and through all our deals. And she was such a huge help. And she connected us with Rob Brake in Peterborough.
Yeah.
So he was our agent in Peterborough and helped us guide us through all our deals, basically. And it kind of just, it snowballed from there. Like, I don't know, the story gets kind of crazy after getting the first house. Our agent was like telling us about another deal where the house had fallen through with their clients on financing and whatever. And I was like, Rob, like, I have no money. Like, I put in all this money into this house. Like, how am I going to get another house? Seems so crazy. And my friend at the time had a bit of cash, and he was pushing me like, let's do it. I'm like, Dylan, I don't know, man. Like, you know, let's ease into this. I thought I was going to buy one and maybe sit around for a few years, save again another $40,000, like save, and then get another one.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Fine. Let's take a look. Let's just look at it. So we looked at it. We loved it right away. It was such a good student rental opportunity. It was so close to Trent University in the north end of Peterborough, in a really good neighborhood. So we were still like, we don't have enough money. And we actually reached out back to my agent, said, do you know anyone that'd be willing to partner with us? So they connected us with this couple named Martin and Michelle. They own a property management company in Peterborough, and they just recently left their full-time jobs in the last 2 years, and they're in their early 50s. So they went full-time real estate. So they bought like, I think 8 or 9 properties in their first year or something crazy in Peterborough.
Wow.
And they've started this whole company. So they've gone full throttle into real estate. Yeah. And they couldn't qualify anymore for any mortgages. So that's where my friend and I came in. So we brought the financing, split the down payment 3 ways, and the equity and cash flow, 33. And we actually ended up closing on this property 7 days before the first one.
Oh, wow. So you went to buy your first house, take this big leap of faith, you end up with 2.
Yeah. So I actually took the week off work. I brought some friends up, slept in the first house, just kind of hung out. And then, 7 days later, closed on the other one. And then we stayed at that house. It was kind of fun when they're all vacant, right? Yeah. And just sleeping on air mattresses or whatever. And we could actually go downtown at the time, just to like patios and stuff. And that was kind of fun, like exploring Peterborough a little more.
Yeah, totally.
But it was crazy. Like, I think it's so good that my friend actually pushed me to do that, because I would have never done that.
Right. Yeah.
I was kind of more conservative, like, okay, let's chill out. Like, let's get this running and see where things take us. But I kind of got the bug after the first one, the real estate bug, and I wanted to keep going.
Totally. So you mentioned, during those 3 years that you were saving, you were reading books, podcasts. What have been some of your main recommendations for information? Like what's been the most impactful for you?
Well, the first book I read, I remember after talking to my family friend who had some rentals in Hamilton, I just typed in real estate on YouTube, and then I saw Matt McKeever's channel. Yeah. And I saw he was reading Early Retirement Extreme. Yeah. So I started reading that book, and that helped me be more frugal than I was beforehand. And I always get teased by my friends by being so frugal. And then I read like Rich Dad Poor Dad, Think Big and Go Rich. And I really like the compound effect as well. Yeah, yeah. And then I've eventually found like Bigger Pockets, Breakthrough Real Estate Investing Podcast. Yeah. Rise Network, Andrew Hines, all of them. Okay. I love podcasts. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's great. It's only a matter of time, like before you're on the Breakthrough Real Estate Podcast, especially if you've worked with Rob. I hope so. I hope one day. Yeah, oh, for sure. I would love to. Yeah. Yeah. So what advice would you pass on to people your age, like not even necessarily your age, but let's say people who haven't jumped into the real estate game yet? They're convinced, they're reading, they're listening to podcasts, they know it's valuable, but they haven't pulled the trigger yet. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And also you don't have to do everything alone. Like that's another mistake I was making at the beginning, because I would have started this whole journey way later if I didn't partner up.
Right.
And also, I think at the end of the day, like the only person you need to believe in you is yourself. Like if you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to accomplish your goals and take that leap of faith. Like,
Right.
yeah. And as soon as you start to believe in yourself, other people believe in you as well and want to help you out.
Yeah, you can see that in your story. Like when you met up with that friend from high school, you start talking real estate, you're wanting to pull the trigger. Let's do this. Let's partner together. Yep. And then when you called up Jillian Irving, you were seeking help, you were asking her advice, and she saw your passion and she saw your confidence and thought, hey, I want to help this guy.
Yeah, and she just wants to help for free. Like we would, she would call us every week and we have a little meeting on progress, and she was super helpful throughout the whole thing. And also Rob as well, being an investor as well. So it definitely helped having those people kind of backing us and made me more confident.
That's amazing.
In the whole journey as well, right? I'm not like blind going into it.
Right.
Having these super experienced investors behind me. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So what's next for you? What's the next step in your real estate journey?
Well, I just got my third and fourth property in early December. So I basically, after the first two places, I had my friend's dad's friends are like real estate investors in Toronto and agents. Mm-hmm. And I basically had a big like dinner with them and talked about like secondary markets like Peterborough and how you can cash flow. Yeah. And the next day they called my friend and said, hey, I want to invest with Andrew. So then I started like for like 2 weeks straight, I was looking for deals. I like messaged Rob. I was like, send me deals. Like I need to, find something great for these people so that I can invest with them. And I found this great deal on the MLS. It actually just expired. It's basically a side-by-side duplex in downtown Peterborough. It's one lot. So both sides of a semi-detached home are under one lot. So the purchase price is $470, and that values each side at $235 as is, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And when I saw that property with Rob, he's like, I don't know how you found this. It's because I was looking at every single deal, and I finally found this. He's like, I would have never looked at this. And basically, when I saw it with him, I only saw it as a really good rental because there was 4 bedrooms on each side and 1 bathroom on each side. And there's a potential to add more bedrooms and have, possibly a 10-bedroom student rental. Yeah. So I was like, this is such a great deal. I got to get this. And when I was with Rob, he's like, you should make an offer on the property and then go find your partner. Like get an accepted offer. Because if you bring it to partners, they'll say, oh, I don't want it. And then they could potentially buy it behind your back or outbid you. Yeah. So, I made an offer on this place with barely any money in my account, which kind of scared me at the time. And when I saw it with Rob, he also said there's a potential to sever it into 2 single-family homes. Right. So before buying it, I basically got an appraiser to come in, and he appraised one side at 285 and one side at 300. So it's already 110 grand, 115 grand increase in equity just from severing it. Exactly. So it's so you can sell them off individually, because right now they're under one lot as one big package. I live in a semi-detached home in Toronto with my family. Mm-hmm. It's just crazy the thought of like having both sides under one title. Like, why is it not severed already? So yeah, that's what's going on right now. So when you had that deal locked up, were you able to find an investor to close on it with you? Yeah. So once I got some of my facts in check, I got the appraisal done, I got a home inspection done, kind of like a little package. And then I started pitching to partners. I actually do like a lot of plumbing work on the side for family friends and stuff. And I tell everyone about real estate and I've kind of told like other people about my journey, and I kind of joke and say, I'll bring you a deal one day. So one of my friends I went to high school with, his dad, I've done a lot of work for him, and I basically brought the deal to him, and he said, I'll do it. And I came in with no money. Amazing. So the advice there then is you talk about real estate with everybody. Yeah. You've got this great line, I'll bring you a deal one day. And that's how you find partners. That's how you find people to invest with you. Yeah. And also like this deal it's a killer deal if it turns out the way I want it to. Yeah. With the severing, like I've talked to with like surveyors and city kind of planners, and they say it's definitely possible. So it's looking like it's going to happen, but we'll see. Yeah.
Amazing, Andrew. Well, it's super inspiring to hear your story and hear about your journey. How can people find out more about you, or if somebody's interested in the Peterborough market, wants to get in touch with
Yeah.
you?
I mean, I guess they can message me on my Instagram, thinkbig_REI, or they can text me at 416-908-4769.
Okay, perfect. Well, we'll put your Instagram in the description of the video, and that's exciting. I'm sure you're going to get people reaching out to you and just thanking you for inspiring them.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah. Thanks, Ryan.
All right, man. All the best and your next steps.
Yeah. Thank you. It was nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you
Okay.
too.
Take care.
Wow, this guy is going places. Okay, 3 takeaways from this GRU interview with Andrew. The first one is gradually, then suddenly. This is a quote from Ernest Hemingway where he's describing how big things typically unfold. It happens very slowly, very gradually, and then it seems like overnight. Suddenly, there's big changes. Andrew was working for 3 years at just $12 an hour. He managed to save up $50,000. I mean, he could have bought a sweet car. He could have backpacked Southeast Asia, started a sneaker collection. I mean, what did you do with your money when you were 19 or 20 years old? While he's saving up money, he's also educating himself. He's reading books, he's binging podcasts, he's growing his knowledge, he's preparing, gradually getting closer. Then he bumps into his high school friend. He's got 50K saved up, he's got the knowledge, and boom, he's ready to take action. Pulls the trigger and things happen suddenly. 4 doors in 4 months. Okay, so it's just like how an apartment building is constructed. For a long time, you don't see anything happening. Usually behind the wall, it's a deep hole. They're excavating, they're laying a foundation, and it takes a long time just to reach ground level. Then you go away for a few months, you come back, and boom, there's a tower that's risen up out of the ground overnight. Okay, a lot of the groundwork is laid, the foundation is laid underground. You don't see it. It happens gradually, then suddenly. All right, it's just like the illustration that James Clear gives in his book Atomic Habits, where he's describing the change that takes place when you melt an ice cube. To go from minus 15 degrees Celsius to 0 takes a tremendous amount of energy to bring the ice up to that place. But there's no change. The ice is still solid, it's still completely frozen. And then just one more degree of change from 0 to +1, and transformation begins to happen. The ice begins to melt. All that work that went in from minus 15 to 0 yielded no results, but there was the potential there for just 1 degree of change to make a huge difference. And that's what we see in Andrew's journey. 3 years of saving and educating, and then boom, 4 doors in 4 months. Gradually, then suddenly. So be patient while you lay that foundation. But once you've got a solid groundwork in place, then you're ready to scale like Andrew. Number 2 is you don't have to do everything alone. Andrew talked about asking for help. He had the mentorship of Gillian Irving and Rob Brake. He partnered with his high school friend to get started, and then he's got other JV partners come in to do more deals. He said, I would have started this whole journey way later if I didn't partner up. So he recognizes that's made a huge difference. And the last takeaway from this is beware of limiting beliefs. Andrew thought he had to save up all the finances to fund his portfolio because he thought, I'm too young. People are going to think it's too risky to invest with me, so I've got to do it all by myself. And those were proven to be false. Those were limiting beliefs. Even the belief there's no good deals on MLS is a limiting belief. Andrew talked about the deal he found that everybody else overlooked. So inspiring journey. Thank you so much, Andrew, for being on this GRU interview, sharing your story with us. Be sure to follow him on Instagram. You can find him at thinkbig_REI, and message him if you've got any questions about the Peterborough market or want to invest with them. All right, Canada, thank you for watching, and happy investing.